to see the economy probably pick up on this, as well as getting ABAG and MTC and the Alameda County Transportation Commission in our limited funds to direct these to these priority development areas.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Mr. Turnquist?
Affordable housing is going to have to go back to the federal government. Currently, it used to be the slums. People now that are getting government housing, they live better than I do. They build these brand new modern condos and people get Section 8 and they pay like $74 a month to live in a 3-bedroom modern condo. What the state is trying to do is create more government and small panels to control housing, make these communities along the tracks so people can walk to BART and take BART to their job. I believe that since the government bailed out all these billion-dollar banking industry, that we should start making the banks pay for some of the costs of affordable housing. Make them pay back. I mean, the money that the government gave to the banks, every 18-year-old adult in America could have had $225,000 for the money they gave all those corporations. We all could have bought a new house and a new car. That would have been a big boost for government economy. So I think affordable housing, we need to tax these banks every time that a bank makes a buck on writing a home loan. They should flip the bill towards affordable housing.
Thank you. The next question will be Mr. Valles first. And looking at the time, I think this is going to be our last question, and then you all will get to make closing statements. We have a group of questions here about, generally speaking, about jails. The state has transferred some responsibility for the jails to the counties. How do you propose handling these extra costs? And can we decrease the numbers of prisoners in our jails? Somebody would also like to know your opinion about 3 strikes and about the repeal of the death penalty that's on the ballot in November.
Thank you. First of all, I'm against capital punishment. It's absolutely senseless. It's extremely expensive. And in the state of California, we haven't used that system for years because of legal challenges. It just doesn't make any sense. And if the value of human life, to me, means a great deal. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. With regard to the issue of the realignment of our criminal justice system, again, the state of California dumped that issue on the counties throughout the state of California. San Diego County, Los Angeles County, Alameda County, some of our largest counties are dealing with these same kinds of issues. How we're going to house the prisoners coming back, how we're going to work with our police chiefs, how we're going to work with our neighborhood watch captains on keeping our neighborhoods safe, and how we're going to monitor people who are coming back into our neighborhoods, and what do we need to do as a community to make sure that we're safe. Well, the county, about 3 weeks ago, we gave back to the Sheriff's Department $23 million to put more deputies in the jails to address that issue here in Alameda County. So we made a real investment in our infrastructure. The other part of that is that we're working with our probation department to bring programs into the community. Where our office, District 2, I'm working with the young people through the Deputy Sheriff's Police Activities League, which runs through the Ashland, Cherryland District, and we want to extend them into South Hayward and connect them with the Measure UU program here in Union City.
Thank you. Mr. Green?
I was against the death penalty when it was voted on the first time, and even within the last 2 years, at this very dais, tried to get our city council to take a position against it. Unfortunately, no one at the time besides myself decided to do that. So yes, I will be against it. I'll be voting to end the death penalty on November the 6th, and I will also be voting to modify the 3 strikes and you're out rule, which I just basically just swollen prisons as they are. So those are my 2 stances there. In terms of what we could do to decrease the number of prisoners, in our jails, I mean, one thing which the state, I know, has been looking at, which I think Brown has decided not to do, from what I've been reading, is contracting out. I know there's been a judicial ruling saying that the state prisons are, overcrowded, therefore ergo unsafe, and there needs to be some, either they have to be let out, or they could be contracted out. And I know that pushes the system, it's like a rat going through the python that moves it down to the county level, which eventually even affects every city. So you do need to be finding ways, perhaps, of looking creatively at contracting out where the prisoners are actually, or inmates are actually held. I mean, it still keeps them away from the general population, but I think it could be looked at. There needs to be ways of looking at the affordability part of housing prisoners throughout the state of California.
Thank you. Mr. Turnquist?
Absolutely 100% for the death penalty. An eye for an eye. You take a life, you lose yours. It's $400 to execute a convicted killer. It's $64,000 to keep that guy alive in prison. He has the best medical benefits of any job. Medical, dental, 3 meals a day, hot bed, and clothing. Take your mother. What if your mother goes to the store? She's kidnapped, brutally sexually assaulted, and murdered, cut into pieces and buried into a shallow grave. You want to see that killer live with a job for 68 cents an hour in a prison system when your mother's no longer on earth because of that waste of a human? Half of the people on death row, there's at least 12 of them that I supervised in jail when they were here. And if we had time to sit here and talk about all the acts that these people did, just those 12 people, there's 33 lives lost because of their killing. With the jails, I spent 14 years working Santa Rita. I worked a housing unit by myself, supposed to be 4 deputies, 326 inmates by myself. I had to make sure they're fed, medical, closed, and off to their job on time. So the probation people that inherited parole jobs supervising these people, it just isn't going to happen, folks. Face reality. 3 strikes, lock them up, get them off the street. Otherwise, your community is going to be flooded with these parolees, and all they're going to do is keep stealing from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Sayashi?
Thank you. Just want to say that the state shifting a lot of its public safety responsibilities to the counties really have to do with the fact that not so much in Alameda County, but in counties like Riverside, where they send a lot of people to state prison, costing taxpayers a lot of money. What we're basically saying is, there's going to be a cost sharing here. And in Alameda County, I believe we've done an excellent job of promoting rehabilitation. We have mental health court here. My husband served as a juvenile justice judge. He worked at the hall in San Leandro. And I know firsthand a lot of great examples of programs that exist to support teens and kids who get in trouble. And I think that as we move into this full implementation of the state transferring more responsibilities to the counties, we need to remember in this last year's state budget, we were able to get additional money for public safety here in Alameda County, and the sheriff is very happy with the state doing that. So I think we could do some great programs here. We've done it in the past. I think that one of the things that we could be really proud of here in Alameda County is the fact that we focus on rehabilitation and giving people a second chance. I forgot to answer Prop 34 question, which I support, eliminating the death penalty here in California. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm looking at the time here, and I think, Myrna, if this doesn't throw you off too much, we can give everybody 2 minutes for a closing statement. Would you all like to have that? Okay. And by process of rotation here, Mr. Green can go first.
Thank you. I want to thank the League for sponsoring tonight's event. You always have a neutral stance to things, which I personally have always appreciated over the last 20-plus years here. I think this is an opportunity really for voters in District 2 to get to a fresh start. We've had sort of a muddled appointment process over 3 months ago. But I don't want to get into the tragedy that happened before that. But I think I offer the voters in District 2 an opportunity to get someone in there who has shown by record of accomplishment that I can get the job done on a financial standpoint, public safety, infrastructure, social services, across the board, able to work with cities, able to work with counties,